Hey everybody. So today we're going to be replacing the fans in the camper. As everybody knows, the fans that come in the camper are not the greatest typically. Most people upgrade to like a Fantastic fan or any number of other brands. The problem with those are they typically need to be installed by the dealer if you want to keep your warranty, because it requires breaking the seal on the roof. So I did some research, and I'm not a fan of spending more money than I need to. So I actually came up with Vortex 2. This is a drop-in replacement for the fan that comes in these Transcends. It actually offers 3 forward and 2 reverse speeds, and it has the little knob that you can still get to the opening and closing of the actual vent itself. They're supposed to flow more, and they're supposed to draw less power. So we're going to test that. I try to do things a little bit different than most people that post videos. I want to try to actually put data behind it and not just say, it's better. So what we're going to do is I have my handy dandy SPL meter from circa 1995, but it still works. It'll give us data. We're going to test the stock fan. The Grand Design Transcend Xplor 261BH that we have has 2 fans, one here in the kitchen / living area and one back there in the bathroom. The one in the bathroom is a little bit more noisy than this one. So we're going to go ahead and get the numbers for both of them. And we're going to eventually install one in the bedroom, because I don't know why it ever came without one. So this might be a couple of videos, but it's okay. You'll get the gist. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this. We're going to measure what it is, no fan. And then we're going to measure with the fan on, because these fans only have 1 speed. Once we get the Vortex 2s installed, then we will do the same thing, but since they have multiple speeds, we're going to do low, medium, and high, and then medium and high for reverse. But we're going to take it one step further. We also have, let me grab this thing, we also have an ammeter that measures airflow. So we're going to measure how much flow the stock fan does and how much the Vortex 2 does. So we can actually compare them better, and we can see how much of an improvement, if any, there are. But wait, there's more. So we're going to see how much air it flows. We're going to see how noisy it is. We're also going to see how much power it draws. So I have a clamp meter here, and we're going to see how many amps it pulls for the stock fan, and then we're going to see how much the Vortex 2 pulls, of course, on all 5 speeds. And let's just see what it does. So sit back, relax, and let's get to measuring some stuff. Okay, so as you can see, right now it is reading just our normal conversation is about 67, 64. It peaks about 67, 68. I am approximately the same distance from it as the fan is, about 2.5 feet. I'm holding it right here by the refrigerator so that whenever I get the new fan in, I can measure from the same spot. So I'm going to reach up here and turn the fan on, and let's see what it goes up to. It's a constant 64. That's without me talking or anything. 64. Now this meter won't go below 70, so I don't know that that's going to help us when we install the new fan. But you might can hear it in my mic.
It is pretty loud, so you should be able to tell.
Alright, so this is the kitchen / living room fan. Alright, so now let's measure the airflow for this thing. So what we have is the little ammeter. I got this on Amazon. It's not not very expensive. I can throw a link in the description below if you want that. But the problem is the little bitty head, big hole. So I want to capture all the air coming through it if at all possible. So I thought of a way to do that, and that involves a free box.
A box.
This is just a priority mail box from the Postal Service. It actually happens to fit perfectly
That's funny.
if you leave the flaps on the outside. And I cut a hole in the bottom so that this can actually sit right there, and we can do the readout. So I'm going to cut the fan on, and unfortunately the airflow is towards the display, so I'm gonna have to hold it with the display up to the box, and then I'll have to bring it down and show you the results. So let me cut this fan on. Thing is open. Let's cut the meter on. Let me just try it this way. Looks like it has maxed out at 2.3 meters a second. Change the units to 8.3 kilometers a second. 452.8 feet a minute. Now this is not cubic feet or anything like that. We have to do some math for that. And it is 4.5 knots. 5.1 miles per hour. And back at 2.3 meters a second. Okay, so there we have some numbers for the airflow. So let's work on getting the amp draw now. To test the amp draw, we need to get to the wires. To do that, we have to do some disassembly, unfortunately. So just handy dandy Phillips head screwdriver. Okay. And then while you don't have to break the roof seal, you do have to take the inside piece off, which should just be that screw and these 4, or maybe it's just these 4 to get the thing off. My cameraman's going crazy over there.
I just didn't know which one you were talking about, sorry.
It's fine. Alright. And it will drop on you. Okay. And there's that. So notice it is trimmed down because there's a slope in the roof, so be sure to put it back the way that it came out. And here we are with the wires. I'm going to assume the black is the negative and the white is the positive. So let me get my clamp meter on that and we will see how much it draws. Alright, so we have the clamp meter on here and it is set to 60 amps because this will not pull any more than that, I know. I have it set to DC. Right now it's showing a negative 0.77 amps. Don't know why, but we can account for that. And we cut it on and it is pulling 0.3 amps. So we'll do some math with that negative 0.77 and that 0.3. We'll call it 1 amp because it's hovering right at 0.3. So we're going to go ahead and get this one switched out and do all the tests with the new fan in. Alright, so let's go ahead and go with the installation. We've already done the first part since we were messing with trying to get the amperage, and we've pulled down the cover. You go ahead and remove your one screw that is going to your handle, and now you take your screwdriver, and there is 2 screws way up in here that you need to pull out. They're on the white part. And it's just self-tapping screws. There's that one. And there's that one. And then we should be able to, okay, you have to unscrew the little black protector thingy off of the power button and bring down your mesh. You want to make sure that your lid is closed so that nothing falls in on you.
That would be funny though.
Maybe, maybe not. And now we have to remove the fan. Okay, so once you get the inner plastic off and you've taken the little plastic deal off of the power switch, there's 2 screws for the power box, but honestly you just wiggle it back and forth a little bit, and there's 2, like, I don't even really want to call them spot welds, but almost like a spot weld, that you just wiggle it and it will come off. It will eventually break off like that. So then what you do is there is a zip tie. You can take scissors or something. I'm just taking my pocket knife. Cut that. Take that off so it's not dangling around in your new fan. And then you take off puny little fan. Take your screwdriver and you will pull the 2 screws that are holding the motor in. There is that. We can put the screws in. If you, for some odd reason, ever want to go back to this, you could. You would just need to put like a short self-tapping screw through the switch box back into the cross member here, and you'd be fine. Let me grab my side cutters and we'll cut those wires. Alright, so can't find the wire cutters, so kitchen shears work just as fine. This is low voltage. It's 12 volt DC. You're not going to fry yourself. Just cut 1 wire at a time. As I mentioned earlier, if you want to do this 100% safe, kill all power to the trailer, disconnect your battery, and you can do this with no voltage running through this whatsoever. So I have been an electrician in an earlier life, so I feel comfortable doing this. We can snip and snip, and there is no more stock fan. So what you do now is the bag that they give you, the little handle deal, some screws, and a little plastic dumaflachi. Yes, dumaflachi is a technical term. So I'm going to get my handy dandy helper over here.
Let me make sure the camera's right.
Because it does help to have 2 people. Hold that for me. You have to raise it up. And we will take the black twist them together and twist the wire nut on. Take the white, twist it together, and put the wire nut on. All right, so now we need to come this way and go up in the hole. Make sure that your roof membrane that they most likely folded down in here is out of the way. All right, so before we get this thing back in the ceiling, let's go ahead and measure the amperage draw. Right now it is currently reading negative 0.77, just like it did before. And this has 5 settings: high, medium, low for forward, and high and medium for reverse. So let's go high. It spiked up to about 1.5 amps. But right now it is settling down on 0.77. So add the negative 0.77 to that, and we are probably 2.2 spike to start it, and it's about 1.5 running on high. Let's go medium. It is drawing 0.1. So add the how is that even possible? Add the negative 0.77 to that, and you have negative 0.6667. Numbers. Let's go low. And it is reading negative 0.13. So while the meter might not be reading the exact numbers, it does give us data. So it is pulling less power on medium and low than the stock fan did, but on high it's pulling more. So let's cut it off. Let the fan stop, and then we will try reverse. Come on. And I will say, so far this thing is putting out a lot of air.
Yeah, even I can feel it over here.
Alright, so it spiked up to 2 to start, and I'm sure you can hear it. It's actually noisy. It has settled down on 0.49. Medium. It's fluctuating between all zeros and negative 0.01. Yeah, that's what it's settling on. So, that's how many amps it draws. Let's finish the installation, and then we will get the airflow test and noise test. Okay, so once you have this tucked up in there, be sure that your wires are not getting anywhere near the fan. You can use zip ties and stuff like that. And if you're only holding it with one hand, it will do that. But what I ran into was trying to get the knob part to line up. So what I had to do was take my finger and push up on it, and then take the actual knob and wiggle back and forth, and it will go up in there. So once you have that done, make sure that you are seated all the way around, and then you can go back with your screws that you pulled out of the sides, which would be these small self-tapping screws. There's that one. And here is this one. Make sure that your fan blade spins freely. It does. And then you can go back with your surround. Be sure that it is oriented the correct way. So after fighting with this thing for a bit, I found, even though they trimmed down, when doing these, you may have to trim, see if I can find it, this little lip right here a little bit, because 3 of the 4 corners fit fine, but that one does not want to go in. So I'm just going to take my pocket knife and trim it down a little bit, and then see if it goes in. Okay, so after you have your 4 shroud screws back in, make sure that everything's sitting flush, your blades still turn fine, make sure there's no wires in the way. You can take your little screen and it goes in and twists in. It's easily removable, unlike the stock one. And then you can take your knob, stick it on, and open. Yep, open. So now you need to take one of the screws that they supply and put in that so it does not fall out. And it will be the longer of the 4 that are in the bag. Alright, operating the cover does work. And alright, so now let's test the airflow. I'm going to go ahead and cut it on forward high, which is pulling out. Looks like 7.2 meters a second. 25.9 kilometers an hour. (1,417 feet a minute). (14 knots), or 16.1 miles per hour. Wow, that's a big improvement. That little fan was humming. Alright, so there you have it. For about 30 minutes of work, and that was with recording and everything else, it was an easy process. Honestly, whenever I do the bathroom one, it'll probably take me 10 minutes maybe. I'll probably do a time lapse of that one and throw it at the end of the video. But for now, I mean, that's pretty much it. It has a lot more airflow as we measured. The noise a little bit higher on high, but not as loud on low. And the amperage on high, again, it was a little bit more, but medium and low, not so much. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and do a graph and do the corrections on the amperage, and I'll put the decibel meter on the decibel readings and the airflow readings on there, and let you see that. So I will show that now. And I will also post a link to it in the description below if you want to go and review that for yourself. So that's about it. This is a very simple deal. If you want to pick you up one of these fans, I'll throw a link in the description below for you to pick it up. I cannot remember how much they were, but they were not much for what you're getting. You do lose a little bit of light if you don't have the the max air vent covers on. When you have the thing open, it can let some light in, but we have the max air vent covers, so we lost that light before we even picked up the camper. So I'm not worried about that. So that's it. I mean, I like it. It was an easy fix, or an easy installation. Like I said, I'll do the bathroom one off camera. I'll do a time lapse or something. But whenever I go to do the bedroom one, I will bring y'all along for part of it, because that one does not have any power run to it. So I've got to figure out how to get power over to it. I have an idea, but we'll see how that pans out. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more stuff like this, hit that subscribe button and click the little bell notification if you want to be notified whenever we upload a new video. I really do appreciate y'all coming along for the ride. We do this for you guys. Because, I mean, honestly, what's the point if y'all don't like it? So if you have any comments or questions, let me know in the comment section below, because like I said, we do this for y'all. If there's something that y'all want to see, let me know. So until next time, y'all have a great day.